Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are talking about 7 things that men care about in a woman that they get shamed for. I saved the best for last, guys, and I kind of throw myself under the bus because I actually fall under this category, or at least I used to fall under this category. But before we get started, please remember to like and comment under this video. Starting with number 1, if a man talks at all about physical preferences within a woman, he will get shamed online. He can be completely positive. If you guys remember Matt Rife months and months and months ago, when he said in a podcast that he prefers blondes with big boobs, he got demolished by so many women, especially on TikTok. And that was with him not saying anything negative about brunettes or any other color hair or women that are less endowed. Men can be speaking in all positive ways about a woman, but just by them talking about physical features, women will twist it and the man will get made to look like they are either fat shaming or racist or superficial because all he cares about is how she looks. But that's just not true because we all have physical preferences. I swear a man would get shamed if he talked about liking a woman with a size 7 shoe. I am not going to take offense to a man that doesn't prefer my type, like how I look, because I would rather know that and find somebody that does think that I'm a bombshell, right? And I don't take offense to men that say, they have a certain preference or they like a certain look. It doesn't change how I feel about myself, but I think that's the problem, right? Is that women are taking it very personally and they see it as an attack, and then they shame a man that talks about this or makes the mistake of talking about this at all. Number 2, a woman that doesn't have baggage. Men do prefer women that have more of a clean slate, right? And this can be many different aspects of life. It's going to get into my number 7 a little bit, but what I want to keep number 2 at is really about the emotional state of a woman, right? So if she's been through trauma and she's been through a lot of stuff, and the caveat here is that she hasn't really healed or grown from it, that's going to be very unattractive to a guy. Like, a guy just does not desire that woman because he doesn't want to be a fixer. He may have made that mistake in the past, like early on in his dating life, but all it has to take is once, and trust me, he has learned his lesson. He does not want a woman with baggage. But a lot of guys get shamed for this, right? Because they are supposed to be able to just handle it. They're supposed to be loving and help a woman through it, when I don't think that's fair to ask. I don't think that women think the same way, right? I think that a lot of women want the strong masculine man, and she's really saying the same thing. If she wants a man that is very strong and masculine, well, he wants somebody that is emotionally and mentally strong. Number 3, a lot of men get shamed for saying that they want a woman that needs a man. In this culture that we are in today, especially where women are saying, I don't need no man, or I'm an independent woman, because that's seen as a very good thing by other women, it's not as black and white, right? Like, we can be independent, but we can also want a man in our lives. And that's really what a man is saying. He is not saying that he wants somebody that's just going to be 100% submissive with like an empty mind and has no say and is just doing anything that he wants. He's not looking for someone weak. That is not what guys mean when they say that they want a woman that is showing them that they do need a man. In many ways, it's a woman being vulnerable to a man, to be able to admit that she wants that into her life. And the opposite of that, when she's saying that she doesn't need no man, a lot of times that's really just coming from this like power move from a woman that is unwilling to be vulnerable. And a man just knows that a relationship with that type of woman is going to be very difficult. Number 4 is one that we see very often. A man will get shamed for either asking or caring about a woman's body count. Many women will not even answer that question, and they will become instantly offended and won't want to move the relationship forward. And then we've seen it time and time again on social media where the I word will come out, right? The guy will be called insecure. But this is another case, I think, where men personally, they do oftentimes care about this, especially if they have had the same thought process for themselves. If they have not had a ton of experiences, they want somebody that really matches with their own experience and their lifestyle and their beliefs and their values. And that's okay. I do think that there's an appropriate way to talk about it, because you don't want to end up talking about it in a way that also shames people that don't have a similar experience level as you do. But on the same page, I think that is okay to have a personal preference on this matter. Number 5, a man will oftentimes get shamed when he talks about how he doesn't want his woman to have a lot of friendships with exes. Now, we're talking friendships. We're not just talking about being cordial or still having an ex sort of in your life because you have to for whatever reason. Maybe you live in a small town, maybe you share children, maybe you work at the same place. That's different. You can be friendly, you can be an acquaintance, but I think that a lot of men get shamed for having this problem with a woman being friends, like full-blown friends, spending time with her ex, because it just doesn't really mesh up in his brain as to, well, if you wanted to be friends with him and continue to be friends with him, why did you guys even break up in the first place? And why do you feel like there is a continued need to maintain that friendship? Which can also boil down to, why, as a woman, do you feel like you still need attention from this one man? Now, again, men will get shamed all day long. They will be called insecure. Number 6, men will get shamed for having a problem with his woman dressing provocatively or posting provocative photos online. This again is where a man will be called insecure. But again, it's really not about that, because I can say as a woman, the only reason why you're going to post those types of photos where you're dressed very provocatively, especially if you don't dress like that in the real world, is for the attention. And men know this, which is the real reason why he has a problem with it. Because why isn't his attention alone enough? Lastly, guys, number 7, this is the one that you've been waiting for, in which I throw myself under the bus. Single moms. A lot of men, especially men that don't have children themselves, do not want to date the single mom. And there's very good, valid reasons for it. I would say the most valid reason is because a man understands that he's going to get very attached to the child, and there's no lingering tie between them if they break up. He ends up getting his heart broken, not only from the broken relationship with the woman, the mom, but also with the child. And there's nothing linking them. There's no legality there for him to be able to continue to see the child. And this can happen 5 years down the road, in which he's helped raise that child. So I think that that is one of the very valid reasons why men might talk about this preference. But the problem is that they're oftentimes shamed. And they're usually shamed by single moms that just don't have this understanding. They're not talking for all men, right? There's going to be groups of men that are okay with dating single moms, and oftentimes they're going to be single dads or just men that are more open-minded about that type of situation. So that is it, guys. That is the full list. Let me know if I missed anything in the comments, and I'll see you next week.